fam. I pray that everyone is doing well. I pray that you are thriving in the things of Christ. And I pray that you're living God's best life for you. I am hopping on, as promised, to share with you my why to make a decision to a healthier lifestyle. There are three reasons why I decided to evaluate my life and make the decision to make changes in my life. Three reasons. The first, my own personal health. The second, my children. And the third, my purpose. My personal health, my children, and my purpose. Those are my three whys. And as I'm sharing this with you, I strongly encourage you to listen to this video from beginning to end. And as you're listening, I want you to think about your why. Evaluate where you are now in your health. Are there things that maybe you want to change? And I'm not just talking about the outward appearance, the physical, the weight loss. I'm also talking about inwardly. Are there some things you're struggling, you're trying to combat, and maybe things you've done or things you're doing just aren't working? Think about those things. And I want you to look at where you are now. And I want you to look ahead. If you continue doing what you're doing now, where will that get you? Will that get you to the result that ultimately you want to have? That was where I was when I decided to make the change. For my personal health, my decision was based on Monica. You have done all these things over a decade, and you still have not gotten to where you want to be. And I had to sit and evaluate. Sometimes you have to just kind of sit and just think quiet, still, and just sit and think and just kind of look back over your life. And that's what I did. And I looked back and I saw decades of time spent on different diets, on different health regimens that did work. Some of them did work, and I'm not going to say they didn't work, because I will tell you, I did the military diet before I got married, and that did work. But I will tell you this. Things like that, the fad diets, as soon as you stop, the weight comes back on. And it's because you don't have the right tools that you need to sustain that healthy weight loss or that healthy lifestyle. So my decision was based upon what I experienced in the past, the things that I did in the past, and looking at where I was in that present moment, not at the results that I wanted to be at. Years after years after years, I'm going to tell you, I've done everything. I've been a gym rat. I have ran 3 miles, 5 days a week. I have done it all. Now, at one point, I did get to a weight where I was comfortable, but then it started coming right back on, just gradually. And it was all because I didn't have an understanding of what my body needed to be healthy, what my body really needed to function in its fullest and healthiest capacity. So my decision was based on what I did in the past and looking at where I was now, being honest with myself. Not, painting a picture, well, this happened, so this is, why. put on more pounds and ended up where I am now. But, honestly, things do happen in life that cause us to, sometimes we can spiral. And you don't realize it when you're in it, but you look up later and you see, wow, I kind of let go. I kind of let myself get to this point because of this situation. And that's fine. It's okay. It is okay. It's called life. And we all go through life. We all have things happen, whether it's having kids, whether it's trying to manage a home, whether it's starting a business, your career, whatever it may be. And whether you just like to turn up, whether you just like to eat or whatever you like to do. But it comes to a point, if you've done that for so long, it gets to a point you have to kind of stop and just evaluate. Okay, where am I in my life? And where do I really want to be from this point forwards? So my why, my health, that was number one for me, because I knew if I continued doing what I had been doing over the decades, I wouldn't reach my goal. And my goal wasn't just about weight loss, but it was about being healthy. And I shared on my Facebook Live a couple of weeks ago about how in my family, and like in a lot of families, there are different illnesses that families have. And I made up in my mind, that can't be me. I can't go out like that. And I love my family dearly. I love them because that's why I am who I am now. But if you follow me on Facebook and on YouTube and IG, you will see the slogan for my weight loss journey is know better, do better. Why know better, do better? Because I look back with my family, great-grandparents, great-great-grandparents, parent, and they did what they knew. They did what they knew. Now we're in a day where we have access to so much more knowledge. We have access to so much more technology. There's just so much more information that we have in our hands that they didn't have, which gives us the ability to know more. We have an understanding of what it means if you consistently eat fried foods. We have an understanding of what it means to consistently eat white breads or just eating sugars or drinking sodas. We have that understanding, and there's studies that show what these things actually do if you consume them over a period of time. So let me disclose this. Know better, do better. Okay, while grandmama and them ate chitlins, and I'm going to keep it real with you. They ate chitlins, they ate cornbread, they ate greens. My family's from North Carolina on my dad's side. We ate chicken with cake. That's just what you did. A nice piece of pound cake, one piece, probably about 10 pounds, and you eat fried chicken. Now, it was good. But it goes back to know better, do better. That's what they had back then. That's what they had to sustain themselves. So you do what you know. Now, we have so much more. And we know so much more. So just because grandmama and them ate like that and fed us like that, that doesn't mean we have to continue the cycle. It doesn't mean we have to do that. Yes, if you want to eat some pig feet or whatever you want to eat once in a while, that's fine. But you can't do that stuff every day, all day. You can't do that. Your body is not going to allow it. And when I say your body, I'm talking about your insides. We cannot sustain a life of health, a healthy lifestyle, if we're not eating the things that are going to nourish and feed our bodies. Now, we are at the stage where we know in life, everyone's on this rage about, the outward appearance. And I'm not going to lie. Part of my journey was, it still is, how I look on the outside. Because the thing is, we live in a society that, unfortunately, they don't judge you by what you look like on the inside. They can't see your insides. They judge you by what they look like on the outside. And not saying that I care about what somebody thinks about me on the outside, but it's about what I think about myself and how I feel about myself, the way I look on the outside. It's not about anybody else. So, the inside. We focus so much on the outside that we forget the inside. What's going on? What's going on inside? Are you eating your lean meats? Are you eating your green vegetables? Are you staying away from sugars? What are you doing? Or are you eating the fast foods? Are you eating the potato chips? Are you eating the sweets, the candies, the sodas? What are we doing on our insides? And I want you to realistically think about that. When you're eating that stuff, what do you think is going on inwardly? But when you give your body foods that nourishes, your body's happy. So guess what? It's going to show it on the outside. When you're putting all that junk and processed food in your body doesn't know how to process that stuff. And guess what? It shows on the outside. What you do, what you put inside will show up on the outside. I recently posted, I think last week, I put up a post on Facebook that said, what you eat in private shows in public. And that is so true. You can sit there and say, oh no, I just eat salads. But on the outside, you look like you have not touched a piece of lettuce. And I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to be mean. But we have to get to a point where we have to be honest with ourselves. We really do. Because this is about your life. So that was number one. My why was my health. I had to look at what I did decades ago, have an honest look at myself to see where I was at this point, and make a decision. Monica, do you want to continue living that way? And 10 years from now, you're still in the same situation? Or do you want to do something different and make a change? And I chose to change. So my why, number one, health. Number two, my kids. When you have kids, you want the best for them. You don't want to see them hurt. You don't want to see them go through situations. And my kids, I had to look and think about what they see. Children learn from their environment. And I thought about that. Now, I've always known when it comes to discipline and raising them in the nurture and admonition of Jesus, I always knew that. But I never really thought about the effects of their environment when it comes to health. And I had to think about that. I need to make sure my kids understand healthy eating, a healthy lifestyle, so that they can live long, so that as they get older, they will know what to put in their body and what not to put in their body. They will know what gives their body energy and what makes them, just not want to do anything. Makes them sluggish. Makes them just want to lay around and be couch potatoes. I had to think about that. So that was one thing with my kids. I had to begin to instill in them. And not that we were eating bad or anything like that, but I had to reevaluate even the dinners that I was fixing, incorporating even more vegetables, more lean meats. Now they're kids, so they're going to want their snacks, and that's fine. But even when getting their snacks, I do read labels. I look at what is being put in these foods, because I don't want my kids eating that, and in the long run, it's doing something inside. And then once they become an adult, it's like they have something going on because of what they've eaten. And then we also, you know what, they're kids. They'll let them eat what they want. It's still a body. It's still a body. So we have to learn to give our body the foods that is going to cause it to be sustained. Another thing about my kids, my why about my kids, and this kind of correlates with my health. You want to be here long enough to be with your kids. When you have kids, you want to be able to play with them. If they want to go outside and jog, or if they want to go and play, my son, basketball or baseball, when they say, "Mama, let's go," that's what they expect. They want you out on their field, out on their court, out on the playground, out on the field, running, playing, being actively involved with them. And that's what I want for them. I didn't want to be that mom who was just sitting there while the kids are playing. No, I want to get up and enjoy that time with them too. When we say let's go to the park or let's go to the playground, oh, it's not just them playing. We are all getting into this. Now, we've never really had a problem with that, but I want to continue to keep that going. Because if you let yourself slip, and especially as you get older, you know, one thing can lead to something else, then something else can lead to something else. I had to be proactive. Before anything happens, you know what? Let me be consistent about putting healthy stuff inside my body. Let me be intentional about what I eat. I want to be here for my kids. And not just be here, but enjoy every moment that I can with them. 2 whys: health and children. And also, let me go back to the kids. When it comes to your kids, when you teach them things, we're creating actions that will be done from generation to generation to generation to generation. So when you think about it, it's bigger than just what it seems. It's more than face value. What I'm doing now, I realized, will also affect my grandkids, my great-grandkids, my great-great-grandkids, my great-great-great-grandkids. I am trying to start a legacy now of a healthy lifestyle so that my kids and the future generations, they'll know what it takes to be healthy, and they won't have to experience certain things that, you know, their relatives experience. 1, my health. 2, my kids. My 3rd why, purpose. When you understand your purpose in life, when you clearly know why God put you here, you get this, it's like a ball of energy. That's the only way, like a fire inside of you. That's the only way I can explain it. That you know you have to get this done, because this is why you were put on the earth. That is why he created you. And when you figure that out, you're so determined. I can't let anything stop me. Now, yeah, things will come and go, and, you know, it's called life. But as it pertains to your health, if you're doing know better, do better. If you're doing what you know as far as eating healthy, you're making sure that you're being accountable and responsible for your body. When we sit there eating the junk food and stuff like that, it's kind of like, when you look in the Bible, you didn't see Jesus sick. You didn't see him walking around taking Theraflu or Benadryl or, Tylenol, cold and flu, or aches and pains or complaint. You didn't see that. And that's because he was intentional about his health. And that's kind of the path that we have to understand. When it comes to our health, we have to be intentional. We have to be intentional. And when you know your purpose, it makes being intentional even easier. And I'm going to share this with you. So, you all know, over a year and a half, it's been a journey of me and God. And one day I'll share my testimony with you. But I've been on a journey about a year and a half where it's just been me and God. And I've had to reconnect back to where I belong, if that makes sense. In that reconnecting, I discovered his purpose for me. Not what I thought I wanted to do or be, but why he created me. And because of that, my health is important. If I'm sick, if I can't move, or if I'm walking slow, or something's paining me, how can you walk in purpose if you're not healthy? And that's all that kept ringing in my mind. Now that you know, you've got to do better. Know better, do better. And when I was approached with this lifestyle, these habits of a healthy lifestyle back in December, it changed my life. Because this is something that I always wanted. I didn't want the fad diets. I wanted something that I knew would sustain me for the rest of my life. I wanted to change my way of thinking when it came to food. But I wanted to also, you change your way of thinking, and then sometimes you feel like, oh, I'm being deprived. I can't eat this. I can't eat that. And you get tired of that. And where I am now, I've learned habits where I eat healthy, but I still enjoy what I eat. And the result, weight loss. I'm reaching my 30-pound down mark. And it's been since December 27th. Purpose. When you understand why God put you here on this earth, you get determined and you say, I'm not going to let anything stop that. I can't allow my health to be a factor as to why I can't walk out his calling for my life. And you think about it. When God shows you your calling, and You could be doing different things. It could be you're on airplanes, hopping back and forth, flying. You could be on stages, ministering to people. I mean, you could just be everything you're doing. You're on your feet. You're moving and going. You're moving and going. But if you're in bad health, how can you do that? How can you really walk out his plan for your life if your body is not, and I'm not just talking about outside, inwardly, if you're not equipped to do so? It is so important to understand living your best life and being the best you. It's a full circle. It's mentally, it's spiritually, it's physically, it's financially. It's full circle. It's not just one thing when it comes to living your best life. But the one thing is, you have to have your health. You have to have your health. My 3 whys. My personal health, I did it for me. My children, did it for my children and my purpose. I did it for his purpose for my life. I did it so that I could carry out the reason he created me to be on this earth. I'm not just living to exist. I'm living on purpose. When you get to that point where you're like, you know what? I'm going to live on purpose. It changes your perspective on health, on the way we interact with people. It changes your perspective because the focus is on him. That's my why. And, I encourage you, think about your why. Even if you need to take a piece of paper and write down, okay, my whys. Why do I want to be healthier from the inside out? And I keep saying from the inside out because we can do things that will help us get to weight loss, which is not necessarily healthy for us inwardly. We're talking about being the best you. Being the best you means being healthy from the inside out. From the inside out. Weight loss is just a result. And look at it like that. Focus on being healthy inside and let the rest happen. Fam, I hope this has helped you to understand the importance of walking in health, walking in good health. We don't have to continue the cycles that we're used to. We don't. And just because we don't, that doesn't mean that we discard or forget about who we are, where we came from, because that's what got us to where we are now. It's just now we have more information to help us live longer, to help us feed our bodies better. And we take that and we use that to be the best versions of us that we can be, that God created us to be, that God purposed for our lives. Fam, I'm going to do some health assessments. So anyone who wants to just schedule an appointment just to talk about where you are in your health, I want you to email mattersoftheheartunleashed@gmail.com. And I am going to put that email address in the comment section so that if you want to reach out for your free health assessment, because sometimes it goes back to know better, do better. When you see it on paper and you see where you are and you look sometimes it can kind of shock you when you actually see it on paper. It can change your perspective and do something to you where you're like, okay, I need to make a change. So if you would like a free health assessment, and I'll probably only do this for the next week or so. So reach out to me if you'd like to talk, if you want a free health assessment, just to kind of do your evaluation. This is where I am. This is where I want to be. Just so you'll have an understanding. And that helps you when you have a baseline. It helps you understand of, okay, this is where I am now, but this is where I want to be. So if you'd like a free health assessment, go ahead and email me at the Matters of the Heart Unleashed at gmail.com email address, and I will reach out to you and we can schedule a time just to talk. Even if you have questions about what I'm doing, or just any questions you have about health, please feel free to reach out to me. Family, I hope this is giving you some information and has caused you to look at things in a different light as it pertains to your health. And like I said, if you want a free health assessment, go ahead and contact me. I am about sharing, and I'm sharing what God has done for me. Because what I'm doing now, I'm telling you, it's from God. That's all I can say. I never would have imagined that I would be at this point in my life. And it's a little over a month. But to see how important it is that you make sure you deal with inside. Because you see the difference. My energy levels are up. I get good sleep. I just feel like I am at the optimal point. You know how you climb up to a mountain and you're climbing, and then it's like that peak of the mountain, and you get to that peak, and you know how you see the pictures where people get to the top of the mountain and they're throwing their hands up like, yay! That's how I feel. And I want you to be able to feel the same way. Because it's a wonderful place to be, where you know inwardly you're doing the best that you know to make sure that you're healthy. But it's not just about you. It's about your children. It's about your children's children. It's about your children's children's children. And it's about your purpose. Fam, I love you. And just think about it. What's your why? Until next time, I love you all. And remember, you know better now. So now it's time to do better. Love you all.